Hey there, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video I'm doing a review of the Law of Attraction Planner. So this one has been highly requested by you guys, so hopefully you find it helpful. A few things to note: this is an undated planner. It's very much a goal setting planner, but it also integrates health and wellness. It is larger than most other planners, so I'll just grab my ruler. It is about 7.5 inches wide by approximately 10 inches high, so it's quite a large page size. And before I go through the planner, just want to note that it came with some super cute stickers. Look at the shimmer on that. Gold foil, I love it. My new obsession. Okay, it's not new, it's been around for ages and I'm really obsessed with it and it's not going away anytime soon. Okay, so we've got some header stickers. Good idea, but when I open up this planner you'll see that it's not going to be nowhere near enough to fill out the planner. Like, you only get one sheet, but they are cute, so better to have them than to not. And then some icon stickers, which are always functional and helpful. So yeah, lots of cute stickers included. All right, let's have a look at the planner itself. So in terms of the cover, I like that it's not a generic cover. So when it's book bound, most of them just have like a plain black cover or a plain blue. That gets pretty boring after a while, so at least this has something different. It's like 3D, so you can touch it. It's not just like a thing stuck on there, it's imprinted in there. However, I'm not really a fan of it. It's kind of weird. I'd rather just a pattern, personal preference thing. Okay. In terms of the thickness, it is quite bulky because it's a large page size, and it's got all of that goal setting pages as well as the weekly spreads and lots of notes pages at the back. So it is a bit fat. I would say about 1.5 centimeters wide. It does have some built-in ribbon page markers since there are no tabs. I don't know what it is about planners that are in this style, but they never have tabs. I really wish they did. And this one also does not have the thing sometimes where they include like a colored mark on the side, so you can easily find the different months. But anyway, standard for book bound planners that they don't include those things. Let's have a look inside. Also to point out, the cover is soft, as you can see, super bendy. I'm not sure how well that will hold up after a year of use, especially if you're taking this with you. It's heavy, it's going to be bulky in your bag, and I can see it getting scuffed quite easily. I do think this is a planner that would just need to stay at home on your desk if you're going to use it. Okay, so we've got some quotes at the front, and then we have the This Belongs To page. Something a little different, includes these extra sections for a life statement and a vision statement. In terms of the paper, it feels quite thick. I have done a pen test, which I'll get to later on in this review, but it feels a lot thicker than most planners, which is also probably contributing to the weight. Just want to point that out. It does feel smooth, but it is that kind of like textured, sort of scratchy kind of feel paper. Anyway, okay, planner index. Now, this reminds me of a bullet journal where you've got the page numbers and then what you did on that page. I kind of don't get why they included it because this is a weekly planner, but they do have the pages numbered. I guess if something happened that week, you could record it here as kind of like a journal, or if you were using those notes pages. It's good to have it, better to have it than not. I'm just sort of not understanding how it ties in with the fact that it's a weekly planner with pages already printed, so it's not like a bullet journal. Anyway, okay, so they have lots of goal setting and mindset tips in this planner, as you can see, and it's not just boring, it actually gives you some graphics, and it also has these fold out things that you can have a look at if you're into that. Just zoom in a bit, give you a quick read. Okay, next page. So then they tell you why they made the planner, which, I don't know, sometimes they can ramble a bit on their life story, which I kind of feel like this one is a little bit. I don't really get anything out of this until they show me how to use the planner and how to give you some suggested layouts, which this one unfortunately does not. So it is undated, and if you were to buy it and keep using it each year, you do have these same like pages in the front, which to me it's kind of a waste. I'd rather they just say go to the website and then you can have a look at it rather than having it built into the planner. Again, personal preference thing. Okay, so the thing you notice about this planner is there is a lot on mindset, goal setting, health, etc. So at the start, Unlike most planners, you actually go through a really detailed, this is probably one of the most detailed like goal setting, self-awareness type questionnaires. So I'll just give you a quick flick over. Get line writing space, which is always handy. And then you've got a mission and vision statement. And then some tips. And then we go into goal setting. Now, they give you space to put 50 goals. I don't know about you, but I do not have 50 goals. I mean, better to have more than less space. It might be a little overwhelming. So you do a massive brain dump, and then they give you space to narrow down on the next page which goals you actually want to focus on. So I do actually quite like that, because then sometimes I'll be like, oh, well, I've already used up all the space for goal setting and I could only fit 5. So these are the 5 goals I'm going to do. And it's like, well, actually, no, if you keep going, some of them you probably shouldn't pursue. So having lots of space, always good. Better to have more than less. They have these cool flowcharts, a couple of these, if you keep going, that you can fill out to go more into detail about your goals. This is what I was talking about with the top 5 and why. And this is something that not many planners include, the whole fears and distractions thing. Yeah, I don't really use that, but it's there if you want it. And then you've got a journey section. It has all the different areas of your life, so you don't just focus too much on like work, which I tend to do. It's also got health and everything else, so it's kind of like an all-in-one life planner, not just a time planner. It's more like a health, wellness, mind being, covers everything, very comprehensive. Got the dates at a glance for 4 different calendars, so even though it's undated, it does have these dated at a glance ones. And then it has this fold out flap thing, trying to get it all in the frame. So we've got how will I make it happen. So I really like these. I love when it's stepped out into literal steps, line writing space, and then space to write your goal. It's also color coded, which is cool. I like color coding with the ones on this page by the area of your life, so then it saves space. It's only just got the color. Really like that. I think this is a super functional page. Quite like that one. And then you've got over here most important life goals, and then by when. Again, top 3. I always do a top 3. And then over here, if I just move my thing a bit, you've got this kind of fold out flap thing with space to brainstorm. I've not seen a planner do this with like a fold out thing. It's a cool idea, but to be honest, it's actually kind of annoying because you need a lot of desk space to get it out and write on it, and you can't like it's not discbound. You can't pull it out and then put it back in. You have to keep folding it. It's kind of weird. Cool idea, but I just sort of don't think it works that great. Alright, I showed you that one. So we've got the life statement with the lined writing space. And then, so you've got your goals. You've picked the ones for your different areas of your life to focus on, and now you're going to get down into the nitty-gritty. So the strategies, the skills, and your habits, you've got space to map out what you need to get rid of and what you need to actually do. So I do like that you identify the problem and then come up with the solution rather than just, yeah, I'm going to do this, but then it's sort of like, well, it's all good and well to say that, but you're not really having a sort of strategy about how you're going to go about it. So this planner is the most detailed I've ever come across in terms of identifying self-awareness and goals. So if you're someone that really struggles just year after year, you're not getting stuff done, I would try this Law of Attraction planner. And then you've got some other space to map out, I guess, some reasoning, some, I don't know, their prompts kind of are weird to me. It's like write down more empowering and supportive beliefs. Yeah, it's a bit too wishy-washy for my liking, but it's there if you want to use it. Okay, so then we have these flowcharts I was talking about earlier, where you're putting the big goals that you picked, like your top 3 out of those 50, and then you're mapping them out. It's already got this built-in mind map for you, which I think is a good idea, because usually they just give you a blank page, and I'm kind of like, yeah, what do I do with it? So at least that's already got it mapped out for you. Okay, so one thing that you'll notice, this calendar, the monthly calendar, has dates here, but then it's undated. I'm pretty sure this is a printing error because I purchased an undated planner and all the rest of the months throughout the planner are undated. So yeah, I think that's a printing error. Let's skip to another month so you get more of an idea on what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so monthly calendar, again, very functional, and it ties in with all that goal setting that you did at the start. You've got your goals, especially important, the why, the action steps, and again, numbered line writing space. Love it. You've got this open-ended space over here. If you have seen the Passion Planner, this layout is quite similar to that, with the list making space down the bottom, the open-ended space over here, and then the calendar up the top. I do quite like this layout. It's functional. You still get big boxes to write in because it's a large page size. So on the whole, I quite like it. The pink, and it's kind of like a dark grey, black. It's not too bad. You could still put a lot of colours in here and it's not really going to clash with the colours too much. It's just a subtle pink, which is pretty good. And then over here in the sidebar, you've got like the habits. I'm not sure about that feel good intention. That's a bit too woo-woo for me. And then you've got the reward section and your goal. So you start with the big goal and then you can filter down into the smaller stuff. I really like this structured monthly calendar, much better than just a page with the boxes stuck on the page. I prefer when it's got structure to guide you. So also, similar to the Passion Planner, you've got the weekly layout. So you've got the top priority section at the top of each day, and then you go into the hourly planning. In this case, it's half hour, so 12:31, 1:30, and then it goes right through until 10 p.m., which is one of the longest for an hourly planner that I have seen. Most of them start at 5 and finish at 9. At least this one goes through a little bit longer if you're a night owl like I am. However, kind of weird they then put the hydrate tracker in the 10 p.m. section. So that to me kind of is pointless putting that in there. Like, I don't know, it just sort of doesn't really work. I do like this top section though. I don't know 365 people that will have a birthday each day of the year though, so I'd probably just wipe that out. I might turn that into a meal planning section. A little knife and fork icon would be cute. I do have a friction stamp of that which I might use to make better use of that space. Undated, so you write in the dates whenever you want to use the planner, or you can use date dot stickers, which I tend to use. I really like rainbow date dot stickers because then it adds a bit of colour to the page, and it always looks good with a dark background like these ones, the dark black. The other thing that I should point out, the weekly spread starts on a Sunday, and so does the monthly calendar, which is great because most planners don't keep it consistent, so really good that this one does. Much like with the monthly calendar, you've got the goal of the week, and then I really like this sidebar, the priority. You've got the top priority, other things, and then the sort of miscellaneous little things. Not many planners include space for that stuff, but like you still need to put it in there, so I like that that's built in. Overall, if it wasn't an hourly scheduling planner, I would probably think this is one of my favorite because it's got all of this list space, habit tracking, a nice structured layout. Super functional. If you're someone that wants an hourly planner, I think this will make it to my list of top 10 recommendations. Alright, keep going. So at the end of each month, we have a detailed reflection section. Again, something that not many planners include and which I wish more did, because they tend to just go, here's your space to map out your week, and there's never any space to recap. There's not enough note spaces. So this one has it built in, ticking all the boxes, has that same stuff at the front with the life categories, your achievements, what you learnt, and then I really like this, where you can summarize everything really concisely. What you learn, distractions, and all these other questions, which I think are quite helpful because most of the time it's just, I did this, I should have done this, next month I'll do this, and it's kind of like, yeah, you're not really getting anything out of it. So I quite like the detail of this one. Definitely going to try out this monthly review. And then you have lots of ideas and note-taking space. Now this is dot grid. I'm not really liking it because they're super close together. I don't know if you can see that, but it's quite busy to write on, which I'll show you when I get to the pen test in a second. Yes, you get that for each month. You get the monthly calendar, the days of the weekly spread with each day from Sunday to Saturday, same as the monthly calendar, and then you get that monthly review section. So if I just go to the pen test, you get lots of these dot grid pages, and they're all page numbered, so you can add it to your index. Okay, the pen test. So I grabbed some of my favorite pens, of course the Papermate Enjoy, some highlighters, some marker pens, the Mamby stamps, the friction erasable, stamps, the frictional erasable pen, and a whole bunch of other ballpoint, fine tip, etc. So the paper is really smooth and nice to write on. However, there is a bit of ghosting on the back, particularly for these marker pens, which are quite thicker. To be honest, they do normally ghost on most pages. However, because of the weight of this planner and how thick the paper feels, I thought it would fare a bit better in terms of the pen test. And the highlighters had some heavy ghosting bleed through on my cheapie from the reject shop. So it could be a bit better in terms of the paper quality. Now at the very back, you get the how to use this planner section that I was talking about earlier, where it maps it out and gives you examples. I really like when you get like a worked example. It makes it a lot clearer and you go, oh, okay, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of using it like that. So I would definitely have a look at this if you're going to use the planner before you go plowing into it. Very detailed, the most detailed I've ever seen of a how to use the planner section, even going into the weekly spread. Super helpful. Still going, and then you've got some tips, and I accidentally missed, oh, you do get the pocket folder at the back as well. Super big elastic band to keep everything closed, but what I need to just go back to is the yearly review section. That is included as well. Some tabs would be great right about now. Okay, so we've got reflect on your year, similar to the monthly with the circle that you don't have to draw up yourself, which is brilliant. You can just color it in, similar to the questions in the monthly calendar. And then you've also got like an overall summary, strengths, what little things did you enjoy, etc. And then some tips for doing your next year of planning. So on the whole, I do quite like this planner. I would recommend it if you're interested in an hourly vertical scheduling planner, or you need something with structure and with lots of built-in goal setting, because this one has the most out of any planner that I've ever seen, including the initial goals and then like tracking along the way with the reviews, monthly reviews. So I do quite like this planner, and I would recommend it. I will have more photos in the blog post, which will be linked in the description box below, and I'll also have the pen test picture again if you want to check that. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do planner review videos each week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.